Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 4th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol BOF. Very nice mover today, and it's been a nice mover already over the past few days. But have another new high, new low, and a very well-defined pattern here. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. And I should note that this is not me trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply this is a great skill or a secret discovery. I assure you a lot of people have noticed this pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So we have that top of the pattern right there, resistance. And then bottom part of the pattern right there, support. Let me change that to green for support. And then to make it easier to see, let me just keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. For you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Again, no such thing as a guarantee, but certainly more than plausible to think if the price can come up here and get a break up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like stocks in this price range, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, SIFY, and for you penny stock traders out there, certainly an interesting situation here. And it starts with the fact that, yeah, there's a big gap up, and the price got up this high, but what, in my mind, what makes it set up is this action right here where the price falls and falls and falls, because down around here, it starts to become a very valid question to say, was this a gap in trap? Was this just some sort of pump and dump? What exactly is going on? And we got our answer, at least for now, and it doesn't seem so because the price has at least started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear. Just because the price goes down and then starts to go sideways does not mean that for sure guaranteed, that's the bottom, and for sure guaranteed the price is going to go back up. My point here is it at least plausible? And yes, it is. Case in point, let's just say that the price actually still was dropping. I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this is the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, what are you talking about based on what the price is literally still just dropping? But that's not the case here. It has at least leveled out. So leveling out, guaranteed bottom? Of course not, but definitely plausible. So in terms of key area of support moving forward, right there at 64 cents. And then as far as a resistance and breakout area of this little consolidation, right up there at the 75-cent mark. So becomes very plausible now to say, okay, is this the healthy consolidation? Is the pullback over? Is this thing getting ready to head back upwards? Keep an eye on it if you like penny stocks. Next one here, ticker symbol AUUD. And I'm going to go through this one very quickly because same exact idea of the one I just talked about. Big gap up, price was here, nasty drop, and now it's just started to go sideways and downwards a little bit, but still no drastic drop. And more specifically, you can see right here, the price has actually done a beautiful job of bouncing off that pink line, which on my chart represents the 200 period moving average. So everything else remains the same. Does that mean this is a guaranteed bottom? No. Is it plausible? Absolutely. So if you like this price range, you like to play these scenarios where they get the big pullback, but then you start to get some signals that maybe just maybe the pullback is over and that the price has found some support, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, SQQQ. Very big day on this one, and it all started during that opening 30 minutes, which is that candle right there. You can see price game up here, broke through that pink line, which you can see it's really struggled with over the past few days, but finally broke above it, and then the rest is basically history. And in fact, as I speak right now, this thing's trying to push to new highs even now. So overall, very impressive. So as far as areas of support, I'm going to go ahead and use this line. The ideal level of support, when you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay above $8.73. Now, with that being said, that does not mean that if the price falls below that level that the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But in terms of what would make the chart look the healthiest, certainly staying above that level right there. But from the big picture point of view, just watch a purple line right here, the 50 period, simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, that line's way down here, but as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So as long as the price is above that quote-unquote trend line, then the overall trend still remains plenty in the bull's favor. In terms of areas of resistance, Got to zoom things down here a little bit, but it's been a while since the price been up this high. Next key level to watch from an overarching standpoint, right there around $9.20. But no, any way you look at it, big movement today, big volume, so we'll see if the momentum carries into Wednesday. Next one, NVDA, and just a very, very rough day. And it started off with the violation of this area of support, which let me just offer some perspective. You can see, been a very long time since the price was down below that area. But it did break down through it, which is what brings about the first update, and that is just based on a foundational rule, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So 116 now going to be an overarching level. But that's still kind of irrelevant because the price is still way down there. So I'm actually going to adjust this level down in a more near-term area of resistance right here at the $110 mark. So keep an eye on 110 in the very near term. And then even more so, as I just talked about on the previous one, that purple line there, 50-period moving average, that line will move itself and get more and more relevant from a resistance standpoint too. So yeah, 116 is a level of resistance, but because it was such a big move to the downside, you just have other areas that are more relevant now in terms of areas of resistance. In terms of levels of support, we're going way back into the charts history on this one now, so I realize it's harder to see, but it's just been a long time since the price has been down around this area. Next key area right around 105.50, and if 105.50 cannot hold up, then yeah, this thing could very realistically be headed back down below $100. But overall, rough day today, a lot of bearish momentum, so we'll see how this continues to play out on Wednesday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one, NIO, and overall had a very, very impressive opening 30 minutes. I mean, check it out. Big 30 minutes, and then kind of consolidated out, but didn't give back its gains or anything like that. So, all things considered, good, healthy day. And now we have a very well-defined trend line, which, as I said earlier on a previous one, me drawing this is not, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply I have a special talent or anything like that. A lot of people have drawn that trend line, which once again brings about that talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies where no guarantees, but more than valid to think that if the price can come up here and break up through that trend line, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So keep a close eye on that. As far as areas of support are concerned, as has been the case with these other ones, just continue to watch the moving averages, but once again, more specifically, that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So as it works its way higher and higher, we're going to essentially have a wedge type pattern that forms. So it'll just ultimately be a question of which way does the price want to break out, through the upside of the wedge or the downside. But as of right now, definitely a good way to start off the week. Next one, NVD. Talked about this one last week, and you can see after some consolidation, got a very big break to the upside. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear those lines out, and we'll start afresh here. So newest area of support headed into Wednesday, and this would be the ideal level. So as I already explained, ideal meaning not a do or die level, just what would make this chart look the healthiest moving forward, and that would be if the price can stay above $2.15. But kind of broken record time from the overarching standpoint. Just continue to watch that purple line there. And as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above that overall, line, then the overall trend by definition remains in the bull's favor. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, I just want to give a little perspective to just illustrate that. Yeah, it's been quite a while since the price has been up around this area of the chart. But next key area of resistance, oh, well, it actually broke above there. So let's go up to another one. There we go, $2.34. So $2.34, next key battleground moving forward. But all in all, what matters the most is what this thing has been doing, and that is right here, just putting in these higher lows. So as long as these lows keep getting higher and higher, that's the name of the game. Next one, ASST, and had a very, very impressive bounce off of a key level that you've already heard me talk about, that being the pink line there, 200-period moving average. And this is why it's one of those kind of famous areas. I mean, check it out. Price came down here, and what a coincidence. Found some support at that area, and then a big bounce this morning. But what makes this interesting headed into Wednesday is that not all these gains were given up, but it did pull back quite a bit. So the price is now, once again, well within the range of that pink line. So it makes sense, at least in my mind, to throw out the question, hey, is the price actually going to head back down there? And if so, can the price once again bounce right around that $1.45 mark? So that is one way to approach this. If you like to play bounces, then yeah, the price is certainly within striking distance now of the pink line. Now, if you want to play more so, try to kind of catch a breakout, then the main breakout area right now in this one is going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average valued at, we'll call it 228. But in my opinion, at least, most interesting dynamic is, can the price go back down there and approach that? Because last time, I mean, absolutely beautiful bounce. So it brings about, could there be some sort of double bottom pattern that forms? We'll see what happens. Next one, HOLO, and very, very well-defined levels on this one. So it just goes back to that talking point of those self-fulfilling prophecies. Got to think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very, very similar to that. So if you like to play breakouts, then buying the break of that trend line, you could very well be buying and helping to create one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. So just keep that in mind, but for the millionth time, no guarantee. So I'm not saying it'll for sure break out because of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm just saying you wouldn't be crazy to think any of that, because that is just such a defined area. In terms of areas of support, main level to watch right here, and I would definitely consider it a very important level right there at 37. And the reason why I would say 37 is so important, and I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down to 37 and then break down below there, what would you have at that point? You would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was, which is not exactly a sign of true strength. When something bounces and then goes back to where it was, assuming you're bullish, not what you want to see. You want to see signs of strength, and signs of strength are at least the price making progress, and in this situation, the quote-unquote progress point, I would consider right there at that 37-cent mark. Next one, TQQQ, and yeah, needless to say, very, very brutal day on this one. I'm going to just go get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. And then the first key update, just based on that rule that I've already talked about, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So 65, 16, certainly an area of resistance, but because today was such a downwards day, I'm just going to drag this line down and use it for a near-term area, which sits right there at 63.50. So 63.50 will be that first key battleground to watch. And then, yeah, you have that previous one, and you'll also have that purple line, the moving average here, moving its way downwards and getting more and more relevant. So that's just kind of a long way of saying, of course this thing can bounce and can reverse back upwards, but as of right now, it's certainly going to have to clear a whole lot of resistance levels if it's going to be able to do that. In terms of areas of support, got to squeeze things down here a little bit. Next key area of support to keep a close eye on if this does continue to bleed is going to be that former breakout area right there around 60.40. So keep an eye on that. And it got somewhat within striking distance of it today, so we'll definitely want to keep a close eye on it. But all things considered, yeah, definitely a very bearish day. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be very soon on Thursday, September 5th at 8 p.m. One quick disclosure here, I am now on the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these represents 4 hours, not 30 minutes anymore. Allows me to do that. So I'm just going to approach this in a way that assumes you're watching this 15-20 hours from now, and then walk you through some questions, and based on how you answer those questions, that'll tell you where things stand. So nothing has really changed if you've been watching my past videos. The first opening question has and continues to be, if you're watching this, let's just call it 20 hours from now, where's the price at relative to 57,700? As long as you're answering the question that the price is up above there, then overall things are fine. That doesn't necessarily mean things are looking great, but it means at least there hasn't been any sort of further breakdown. Now, over the past few days, there were a couple moments where it broke down below that level, but to give credit where credit's due, the bulls were able to fight back above each and every time. But 57,700, definitely the first key level. If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, next immediate question, where's the price at relative to 56,100? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, then the bears are showing back up in a very, very strong and big way. Now, on the flip side, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is above 57,700. Well, okay, well, where's the price at relative to those areas right there? If you're answering the question that the price is above there, then that's a good situation. That's very good. So just now, how good? Well, how far above those moving averages is it? Common sense will take you far in that regard. And then if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is still above here, but it is still down below there, so meaning the price is somewhere right around here, then okay. I'm not going to call it bad. I'm not going to call it good. I'll just call it okay. Things are hanging in there. But walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this video relevant for as long as possible. As I invited the stock traders, I'm also inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to get signed up for this free training, because what you're learning about can and definitely should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin trading. So like I said, go get signed up. It'll be pretty soon, Thursday, September 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is a genuine live event, and I say that because there will be a question and answer session, so if you have questions, please bring them, and I will answer them live for you. So definitely go get signed up. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and like I said, go get signed up for the free class. Thanks for watching. Take care.